What's up everybody? BlueGabe. Today's a totally different video than I'm used to. A lot of you guys asked me about gear, about how to tie knots, about what I use, and certain things like that. But before I get started, I got to tell you about something that I've never done in any video. I've really never done ever before in the history of my channel. February 19th at the Martin County Fair, my son Jake has a 4-H hog that's going to be in a show. Now it starts the weekend before February 19th and the show goes on all week. But on February 19th, Jake's hog, along with a ton of other kids in the 4-H, their hogs will be up for auction, meaning you can go there, fill out the correct paperwork, and you can bid on Jake's hog.
Jake's hog weighs 266 pounds, 266. Get it going. Now half, now 6, now half, now 7, now half, 7 and a half, 8, now 9, now 11, now half, now 10, now half, 10 and a half, now 11, 11 and a half, now half, 11 and a half, half, 11 and a half, 11 and a half, now 12, 12 and a half, now 12, 12 and a half, now 12 now half, 12 and a half, now 12 and a half, now 13, 13 and a half, 13 and a half, half, 13 and a half. 13 and a half, we got it now 14. 14 up here now, we get 14, over here now, we get 14. 14 up here now, we get 14 now, half, now 15 and a half. 15 and a half, now 16 now half. 16 and a half, we got it now 16 and a half, now 17. 17 now half. 17 and a half, now we get 17 and a half. 17 and a half, 18. 18 now half, 18. 19 and a half, we now 20. 20 another in now half. 20 and a half, half, down here, 20 and a half. 21 now half. 23, now 4, 24. So,
now all this is for a great cause. A lot of the kids use the money for college, for just learning how to become young adults, and my kid's one of them. If one of you goes to the Martin County Fair and buys my kid's hog, now you're gonna have to get in an auction against a whole bunch of other people, but if you get it, I'm gonna give whoever buys my son's hog a full day fishing trip on my contender with me, Crystal, and the boys, and we're gonna spend all day in Stewart fishing, probably come back to my house and actually film a video together. So that will give you even more of a reason to go to the Martin County Fair February 19th and bid on my son's hog. Unfortunately, myself and Crystal won't be there. We'll be at the NWTF in Nashville. And if you're near Nashville and want to meet us, we'll be there at the Primos booth all day, the 16th, 17th, and 18th. But if you're not going to be there and you can be here, go to the Martin County Fair February 19th, bid on my son's hog. If you win that auction, you will get a full day's fishing trip with yours truly. And you'll come back to the house and cook dinner with us and be in an episode of BlueGabe. Now, I told you I had to tell you about two things. That was just one of the things. The other thing I need to tell you about is a huge partnership I just created with DraftKings Sportbooks. Now, for some of you, you know that I'm not huge into sports. So if I'm going to watch the big game, which is coming up really soon, I'm going to make it interesting. And that's where DraftKings comes into play. So a really cool offer that DraftKings is doing right now. If you sign up using my promo code BlueGabe and bet at least $5 on the big game, they're going to give you an additional $200 in bonus bets. Yeah, that's right. New customers that bet $5 will instantly have $200 in bonus bets deposited right into your account. Now, if you're wondering what you can do with the $200 in bonus bets, you can try out same game parlays, where you can combine multiple bets from one game, like which team will have the most passing yards and who will score the first touchdown of the night, for even bigger winnings. Now, if mobile sports betting isn't yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still get in on all the fun on DraftKings Daily Fantasy. Now, once again, if you're like me and you want to make the big game extra interesting, download DraftKings Sportbooks app right now. Use promo code BlueGabe, bet at least $5 on the big game, and get ready to spend that $200 special offer I've already told you about. Now that we got all of that out of the way, I'm going to teach you guys how to tie some knots that I use the most. I don't typically use this 200-pound braid. I typically use really light braid. Like here's some Beyond Braid Pink Camo 30-pound. That's normally about the size I use. So I've got 4 different rods here with 4 different lures on it. This one, you can see that I have the whole entire leader out. That's a uni knot, and that's what I'm about to show you. This is braid, and this is fluorocarbon. That's what we call a line to leader knot, and I use it all the time. Right here is a poppin' frog, and we use a totally different knot on that, and I'm gonna show you how to use that too. This is a chatterbait. They had a huge tournament on Lake Okeechobee today, and it was actually won on one of these, but black and blue. And this is a spinnerbait. So the frog and the chatterbait, I tie straight to the braid. The spinnerbait, here's another leader to line knot. I do just like I do the burner worm. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to tie a leader to line knot, what we call a uni knot. Take the first piece right here, and I'm just going to make a simple loop, and I'm going to pinch it back here. See that? Simple loop. Now I'm going to take this and start looping it inside of each other 4 times. See that? Everything with a knot is about holding it with fingers. So I've got these 2 and these 2. There you go. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other tag. Same amount of times. I'm going to hold it just the same. That's what we call a uni knot. Just like that. Now Danco pliers, which is all this stuff down here, those are products that you don't typically see me use, but I use all the time. And I don't know if you know this or not, but Danco Pliers and I are partners. And if you go to dancopliers.com, anything on their website, and they have thousands of things from these little couple dollar cutters to really nice flay knives to cheap pliers to expensive pliers to wire cutters to crimpers to a billy bat. You know what's funny about this is Crystal didn't know what it was. What did you say it was? You asked me if it was some
tire checker.
Crystal Beachy asked me if this was a tire gauge. Well, it's actually a little mini bat. You beat a fish in the head like a big tuna or a shark or something like that if you're trying to dispatch it. dancopliers.com, they have literally everything you could imagine in the fishing world. They have gaffs, they have everything. So that's a uni knot. Really quick, I'm going to show you one more time with mono to leader. All right, here we go. So this would be coming off of my fishing pole, right? This is coming off my fishing pole. This is what I'm going to go to my bait with. Make you a pretty good sized loop. Pinch it. I use this knot every single time I go fishing. 4 times. Pull it. Do the same exact knot, but now with the braid. Come in here like this. 4 times. And if you're not sure how to tie these, get you some heavy line and get you some heavy braid and try with that. This is why I like these little teeny cutters. They are super sharp and you can get that cut right at the knot. Because sometimes you'll reel this knot up through your eyes and you don't want to tear them up, the guides in your rod. Look at that. Nothing can break that. Either the mono or the braid will break, but that knot won't. So now I'm going to teach you another knot that I never talk about, but I use equally as much as any of the knots that I know how to tie. It's called a live bait knot, a live bait rig. I use it on a Zara spook or a jerk bait. Normally I'm doing this with mono though, or fluorocarbon, not braid. Just made a simple loop, run my tag in through the eye of this Zara spook. This is again all about holding it with your fingers. So I'm holding the tip of the bait with these 2 fingers and the knot with these 2 fingers. Because I need it to sit in a perfect spot. So see how I went through once, now I'm coming back through it again. Now I pinch it right there. just like so. Now when that bait, this spook is designed to zig and zag, and that knot's not all the way down tight. There's a little bit of play in it. And that's why we call it the live bait knot. All right, I'm gonna show you how to do the same knot again, but I'm gonna do it a little bit faster. Simple loop, flip it up and hold it with my fingers. Take the tag in, run it through here. Holding it with my 2 fingers here and these 2 fingers here, I'm gonna run it back through that big hole. Once, twice. Pinch it before I do anything and tighten it down. Those little cutters are like $3, and they just cut through that 200-pound braid like it was butter. Live bait knot, I call it a loop knot. I use it every single time I go fishing. Now I'm going to show you what I use to tie on a popping frog or anything that I'm going to be flipping into really, really heavy cover. Take my line and just double it up. Poke it through the eye of this frog, which we'll be using this Sunday with the Fitzgerald guys. Make a loop. Come through. Now I'm going to take this right here and pull the frog through it. Now typically this knot is a lot easier, but with this really heavy line, for me to show you guys with it, I got to really play it down. If you're using something like 60, 80 pound test, it's super easy. This knot right here, you can tie your truck to this line and not break it. Some people call it a polymer knot. I don't call it anything. I just tie it when I need it. All right, once again, we're going to do it fast. Double your line. Pinch it really tight, which normal line you wouldn't have to do that. This heavy stuff you do. Come through, make a loop, come through the loop, open this part up because it's doubled, bring the bait through it. Straighten it out as it gets tight. Right there. That's a bad dude. Polymer knot. All right, last but not least, the easiest knot there is in the world to tie. The fisherman's knot. I guess that's what it is. I don't know. Again, I don't know what they are. I just tie them and I'm showing you how to do it. Right here. Pinch it. Spin it up. About 8 times. Not even. 6 times is fine. Come down here through the bottom. It's so weird tying it with this heavy stuff. Come through this loop, back through this loop. That's it. Spinner bait to a regular fisherman's knot. Now, I'm gonna re-rig all this stuff, get it back right, get the spinner bait tied on. I'm working to load all these rods and much, much more in my Pro Drive, and we're going to Lake Kenansville. Hopefully one of y'all get to purchase Jake's hog and get to end up on a boat with me. Probably Crystal and Luke and Jake and whoever else we end up bringing coming back to this house. That's it for this video though. Thanks for watching. It was short and sweet. Just a couple little knots that might change the game. If you don't know how to tie one, or you might know how to tie one better, at least you got to watch this video and watch how BlueGabe ties one. That's it, folks. We'll see you in the next one.